Hello, everyone. Welcome back to What's Up Wednesday. My name is Rachel, and I'm on the client success team here at Early Learning Ventures. And today I'm joined by our family engagement manager, Jennifer Garcia Rosendo. Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. We've had you here a few times. Thank you, everyone who's joining us live today as well. And if you have not heard of Early Learning Ventures before, we are a 501c3 nonprofit based out of Colorado, and our mission is to expand access to quality and affordable childcare. So I have links in the show notes or in the description of this video where you can learn more about the resources that we offer, find our website, learn to get a free demo of Alliance Core, as well as access our full What's Up Wednesday playlist. And since we are live today, if you have any questions come up while we're talking, now's a great time to ask them. So go ahead and add them to the comments. We'll be watching out for any questions, or feel free to pop in and say hello as well. We love to see that. We're also hosting a giveaway for a $20 Kroger gift card. And to be entered to win, we just want you to share your back to school tips and tricks with us. So add all those back to school tips, tricks, anything you got to the comments. We'd love to hear it, and you'll be entered in to win this $20 gift card. I'm also going to put the information in the comments here in Spanish. So that's posting right now. Awesome. So let's get started. What is up today, Jennifer? Can you start us off by, I know we've had you here a few times, but for those who are new, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your role here at ELV?
Absolutely. Thanks, Rachel. I'm super excited to be here today to talk about Family Engagement Fridays, our podcast. So my name is Jennifer Garcia Rosendo, and I'm Early Learning Ventures Family Engagement Manager. So what that means is I basically lead all the work we do in Early Head Start with our Early Head Start families. Some of the ways that we support our families are by enrolling families into Head Start, Early Head Start, and then maintaining enrollment of those families. We also help families to access resources in their community, as well as build a network of support. Another fun thing we do is we actually provide an opportunity for families to map out their vision for their family as well as their child. One of the last things we do is we really recognize that parents have a special role in shaping their child's early childhood experiences. So we encourage this process of learning together. It really is a shared journey, and each family finds their own path for what makes sense for them and their child.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's incredible. I know you said lastly, but that, really, it's a lot of great work that you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, it's a lot of great work. It's amazing to work with the families we work with, and really know that we're impacting children ultimately.
Yeah. Awesome. So can you kind of give us a quick overview of the Family Engagement Friday podcast? Maybe talk about the main goals and objectives?
Absolutely. So one of the major goals that we're tasked with by the Office of Head Start in our work with families is to share information in a way that reaches families where they're at. So if you've ever heard me speak, I've probably said it on this What's Up Wednesday before, but I am an absolute podcast fanatic. And so it really does make sense that I would go about it by creating a podcast. And so our goal is to share resources and information with listeners in short episodes that they can listen to on their commute to pick their child up, either at the end of the day or even like on their way to work after dropping their child off.
Yeah.
We really strive to have our episodes under 15 minutes. Our longest episode is 38 minutes long. I did look that up yesterday. But our target demographic really is early Head Start families, but we absolutely know that all families and many adults without children would really benefit from the services that we are highlighting.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. It's a podcast geared towards families, and you're it's not only just the information you're sharing, but how you're getting it out to them. Easy to listen to, short and sweet. Like you said, pick up when you're on your way to in the car, drop off, pick up. That's perfect.
Yeah, that is the intent.
Yeah. So, what inspired the creation of the podcast with the main focus being on family engagement?
So actually, it was What's Up Wednesday.
Oh.
It really was the inspiration. One day I was sitting and listening to one of the sessions, and I really, a light bulb came on over my head, and I was like, oh, this would be awesome to replicate with specific information for families. And so I reached out to Milena Miner, who is our membership and marketing coordinator. And then I reached out to our wider early Head Start team to see if anybody was interested in participating. And so we had 2 specialists. Actually, there was 3, but one has since left. But Colleen Rohrig from Mesa County and Sue Kensteiner, who works in Arapahoe County, really were excited to help support this opportunity. And so it was a long planning process, and we launched our first episode in November 2022. And our very first episode is with Jennifer Anderson from Kids Eat in Color. If you guys do not follow her on Facebook, I highly recommend that you go look for her now, Kids Eat in Color. And she really talks about supporting healthy eating, although she doesn't talk about good and bad food. Food is neutral. There is no moral connection to it. And she really talks about supporting picky eaters. Since then, we have recorded 70 episodes with a variety of topics and resources. And yeah, I'm super proud of every episode.
Yeah, you should be. They're great. And we had Sue on here recently to share about a new segment of the podcast that she was starting. So that's really exciting. And I didn't know that What's Up Wednesday helped inspire the creation of that. That's awesome.
Yeah. You guys do such amazing work on this leg of what Early Learning Ventures does as an organization. And it just was amazing. I was like, oh, why haven't we thought about this before?
Well, that's the main, like one of our main pieces that we want to focus on, right? Is sharing resources, spreading information, making sure that everyone knows about the resources that they may have access to. So I think it's great to have 2 different formats like that to get the information out.
Absolutely, yes. And the fantastic thing is you do not have to be a member of Early Learning Ventures, and you do not have to be an Early Head Start family. I think all the resources are valuable and can be accessed by the larger community, which is great.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. That is great. So everyone listening to the podcast, What's Up Wednesday, please make sure you're sharing these out because there could be somebody in your network that might really benefit.
Absolutely.
So, Jennifer, how do you decide on podcast topics and how do you make sure that the content is both relevant and informative?
Great question. So, when we enroll early Head Start families, one of the first things that we do with our families is what's called a family interest survey. And essentially, it's like a 10-minute survey where families tell us what sort of topics and themes they're interested in. And so the data that we get from that survey really informs the work that we do with families overall, but it also helps us to prioritize what sort of resources to highlight on the podcast. Another way is sometimes we notice trends that may be happening with families or something that they are, the larger world is experiencing. And so we might say, hey, this would be a really great topic for families to know how to talk with children or how to handle any similar situations with children. And so that is one of the things that we do. We also just keeping our eyes peeled and our ears open for any resources that might be interesting for families. Several weeks ago, I was scrolling through Facebook on my lunch break and noticed an ad for Colorado Early Childhood Mental Health Support Line. So I reached out to them and they were like, absolutely, we would love to be on the podcast. And we have a recording scheduled next month to share out the resources that families can access through their services.
Awesome. That's really exciting. And that's great that you're collecting, feedback from the families that you're working with to then, how you couldn't be any more relevant than that, right? Hearing the feedback in real time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So do you have any goals or plans for the podcast that you can share with us today? I know you did just mention a new episode coming out soon, but any others that you'd like to share with us?
Sure. So one of my biggest goals is to get as many people listening as we can. Not necessarily because I want the podcast to be super popular or anything, but we have tons of valuable resources that we have captured that I think would be beneficial for people to know about.
Yeah.
You and I were talking a little bit before this went live. And so our team spends a significant amount of time researching, prepping, and recording episodes. And I really hope that people are listening, are tuning in, and then able to utilize those resources when it applies to them. Another goal is that so far we have had the majority of our podcasts focused specifically on resources that are provided in the community. But we also want to have families featured on our podcast with their best tips, tricks, hacks, anything that they do that they think would be a useful tool for others. As you mentioned, Sue is starting an episode with a group of parents with young children who work within Early Learning Ventures. And it has jumped to the top of our most listened episodes of all time.
Wow, that's so exciting.
It's only been released maybe 3-4 episodes, and it's currently the 5th most popular episode.
Wow.
And so I think that really illustrates how parents love to hear from parents and caregivers, like what's working for them, what sort of things are they experiencing, all of those things. So if anyone who is listening today is interested, or you know someone who might be, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll throw my contact details in the chat.
Perfect. Oh, I love that. That's so exciting that there's been such good listen rate, I guess, in that, that episode is getting such good traction because, everyone wants to feel heard and supported. And I think that podcast is a really great way for, other parents, maybe first-time moms, anyone that can relate to feel connected, be part of a community together.
Absolutely, yes. I think it's fantastic. And one of the things that we try to recognize is that just because we are highlighting some information that might work for some families, it may not work for all. And so we try to be really conscious about that. I know breastfeeding has been like the gold standard of how you feed your child, and it doesn't work for everyone. Mm-hmm. I, for example, was not able to solely breastfeed. My child was failure to thrive. And so we had to introduce formula to support his nutritional needs. Yeah. And it was devastating to me. So we featured an episode on breastfeeding, but recently we also, I think it was last week, we featured an episode on formula feeding, because we want to make sure that people know what works for one family doesn't always work for all. And so we recognize that. And there are multiple ways to be a parent.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's great. And, and the big thing, like with What's Up Wednesday and the podcast as well, is, there are statistics on resources being so underutilized. And so we just want to spread the word and make sure that everyone's knows that they have access to these things.
Absolutely. Yes. What floats to the top of my mind is Third Decade, which we recently re-highlighted again, and they have some really great tools around finances. And at the end, you get at least $100.
They do a $250 match to your IRA. And I know that because I actually participated in the course after doing a What's Up Wednesday episode with them. And I was just blown away by what an incredible resource that is, and what an incredible learning opportunity. And the fact that it was completely free, as long as you just have to meet age and income requirements, which, I definitely fell into. And so as far as age, I think it's like under 39.
Right.
Yeah, so that was amazing. And I learned about it through What's Up Wednesday.
I did not know you participated. I'm so glad because I am like fascinated that people are not, well, I don't know if people are signing up, but I hope people are signing up
Yeah,
and people are utilizing them because I mean, you get $250 and you get
yeah.
all this knowledge and probably get to know people that you wouldn't have known otherwise. And
Mm-hmm.
what a
Yeah.
great opportunity.
Is really invaluable information and stuff that you can then use. It's not just, I took the course. It's not just me that benefits from it. It's others that I can then help as well. And that's the case with a lot of these resources that we share out. It's just, yeah, making sure that people are utilizing them.
Absolutely. Yeah. So important.
Yeah. So, okay, for anyone who's watching today and may wants to listen in, where can they go? Where can they find the podcast?
So the safest way, I do not believe that we are on any Apple podcast app, but I know that we are on Spotify, and I did a little research yesterday. We are on some of the regular podcast hosts, but
Oh,
Spotify
cool.
is probably the best place to see us. I'll throw the link to our episode, I mean our show. You can also just search Family Engagement Fridays. We release every Friday. If you subscribe, does not mean you have to listen every week. You can just listen to the ones that seem interesting to you. And yeah, I mean, it's really easy to utilize and fun.
It is, yeah. And Spotify is free too. You don't have
Yes,
to pay for an account there. So anyone can watch. And if you need any help with, finding the podcast or finding Spotify, getting it downloaded to your phone or anything, you can always contact us and we can help. I have our contact information in the description of this video.
perfect. Yes, that is great. And so I threw it in by the link. I don't know if it worked, but
Yeah,
um, they can always reach out to me too if they have any questions or are struggling to locate us.
great. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jennifer, and sharing. Do you have any final thoughts to leave us with?
Um, I don't think so, but thank you so much for having me. Please, please, please. If you don't feel like Family Engagement Fridays might apply to you, please share with someone who you think it might benefit. And also tune in to What's Up Wednesdays every Wednesday at 1.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching live with us today, or even if you're watching the recording later, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, Rachel.